Welcome to the Intro Section. We have the beginning of every one of these hatecast. Chances are most of you will be watching this hatecast on Valentine's Day. No, not because you want to spend the day with me, or because you want to admire Jay Ashman and all of his spectacularness, but because the hatecast is best shared in a group setting. That's right. Get your mom, get your dad, get your significant other, pull your dog up a chair. Everybody watch the friggin' hatecast, because as you can see, the episode is going to be a spectacular one. This time we have on Jay Ashman. He is a spectacular dude with a resume as long as... I'm going to stop myself right there. So he has a pretty good resume. So he's a former Strongman competitor. He is also a certified personal trainer. He owns Kansas City Barbell, the best gym in Kansas City. Also, he happens to have played in the Super League rugby bracket. So he is every bit of an athlete, and I'm talking athlete, as anyone else on this hatecast, even more so than anyone else on this hatecast. But now that I'm done gushing over Jay Ashman and the hatecast and the wonderfulness that is subscribing to the YouTube channel, I will go ahead and let you guys know what is on sale over at www.chaosandpain.com this weekend. So, to celebrate Valentine's Day, and probably to celebrate the overconsumption of chocolate, yes, I'm looking at you most guys who say, oh, I'm going to pick some chocolate up for my wife. Nah, bullshit, you're going to have some too. But, that's where we got you. So, we have your back by giving you BOGOs all the time, first of all. Second of all, this weekend we have Predator, which is our glucose disposal agent, nutrient partitioner extraordinaire. It's on BOGO, as well as our fat burner, which, by the way, OG Inferno lovers, where you at? So, Inferno and Predator are both on BOGO with a 27% off code. That's right. Weird numbers. We're doing that now. So, without further ado, enjoy the show. Oh, but before you do, I would like to ask you a question. Will you be my Valentine's? No, that was not. That was actually an attempt to be lame and funny at the same time, and it's not. It's just not me. But what is me is a guy who wants to bring you guys more content. See how I did that? That's called a clever transition. It's also called me eating all the time. Speaking of eating all the time, because master of transitions, I would like to bring some cooking videos to this channel. So if that is something you'd be interested in, like shopping or bodybuilding on a budget, if you'd be interested in recipe videos, of course with the help of Jamie and the internet, I'm sure we can whip together some fantastic recipes for the gains and for anything else you have in mind. Also batch cooking, meal prep, and all of the above, and much, much more. Even cooking with protein powder, which is a pretty cool thing to do, and we do have some spectacular flavors of that. So let me know in the comment section below whether or not you would like that to happen. Also, show Jay Ashman some love. Really great episode. This intro section is probably too long. Don't dislike the video. We're almost at the point where I say, enjoy the show. That was it. Welcome to the newest hatecast, and as you can tell, I am joined by Jay Ashman. So, I did prepare for this. I didn't rush record this because I'm not busy. So these dishes don't exist. I'm telling you that right now. They are being put out of camera shot because, oh yeah, our printer got dusty again. Don't worry about it, that one person. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm okay. For those of you who are unaware of who Jay Ashman is, Can you go ahead and give them a little bit of background where the strength and conditioning aspect come through in your life? So,
Great. Well, first of all, my name is Jay. Simple, easy enough. I'm drinking bourbon right now, which is Buffalo Trace.
yeah,
I was born in Philadelphia area, Reading, Pennsylvania. I now own Kansas City Barbell.
right.
It is a powerlifting / weightlifting gym in downtown Kansas City.
Yeah,
I've been around the block. I've moved from Philadelphia area to New York City, to Cleveland, Ohio, Oklahoma City, and now Kansas City. So in that little big loop there,
yeah,
I've owned gyms, ran gyms, was a manager of gyms. I played Super League rugby. I did Strongman back in the early 2000s and late 1990s.
right.
Pretty much retired from the sports all now and just pretty much train people, train athletes, and have fun doing it.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much a nutshell version of it.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what got you into lifting in the first place. Because I think that's always interesting because that seems to be where people either get wild or they have the same old stories. So let's go ahead and go into yours.
Well, mine might be a lot different from what you ever heard in your entire life.
Uh-oh. There we go. That's what's up.
My mom got me into lifting.
Okay. Was she involved in any way?
No, well, what happened was this. I was playing football back from my local high school, Reading High School, right?
Right.
So my football coach is kind of an asshole. That's a whole other story. So I hated going to the gym because he played favorite, so I didn't really feel like lifting with the team. So my mom was, she was always in pretty good shape. She got into, working out later in life.
Right.
She taught step classes and whatnot at the gym. So one day she goes to me, you should start lifting weights because you got pretty big legs and you're very skinny up top. I was, all right, so I joined her gym. It was Mid-Atlantic Fitness. The guys used to call Foxy Lady. Foxy Lady was actually a females-only gym. So they decided to go decided to go co-ed, and I was like one of the first male members of the gym. So I didn't know shit back then. All I did was bench press and bicep curl.
Yeah.
So my mom got me into working out. So I can pretty much thank her for my career, I guess you could say.
Right. Now, when you said you were into curls and like bench press, I think everybody kind of starts there, especially if you're a dude, you want to get the show muscles and not the pro muscles.
Right.
Because something everybody starts out with is your basic bench, basic, maybe a little bit of tricep stuff. I think that's kind of come into vogue now. Younger kids are starting to do tricep and stuff like that. So,
Right.
So you had the influences going from like playing football. So you played football. Did that lead anywhere? Or
well, I played a year of college. Didn't really do too well there. I was drinking too much. I had a professional football workout in 1998.
Yeah.
Didn't make a team, but I did really well in my tryout. My workout I did very well.
Yeah.
I just didn't have much tape of me playing.
Yeah.
So the guy was like, "Look, we have great numbers, but we don't really have anything of you in the field that much. We have a few things, so it's not going to really count."
Yeah.
So fortunately, I didn't get picked, which it happens. And I started playing rugby.
Right.
And that was my sport, rugby. I played that for about 10 years.
Yeah. So I'd like to go a little bit into. So you've had basically this love affair with fitness for a long time, right?
Yes.
Fitness, strength. What pulled you into Strongman? What made you make the decision?
Well, that was actually back in the day. See, I'm a 44-year-old man, so you know.
Yeah.
Back in those days, well, Strongman gym didn't exist. Back in the 90s and 2000s, it was pretty much nothing like that happened. World's Strongest Man, although it was on TV here and there, it wasn't anywhere near what it is now.
Yeah.
You had on ESPN like every half an hour. They have like a couple blocks on every few months where they play like 4 or 5 contests in a row every half an hour.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of your hook on it. So a local gym had a contest for Strongman and decided to enter. And that was the first time I ever actually trained it was when I did that contest.
Yeah.
So I got third, which was pretty good. But considering probably nobody else probably trained for it either.
Yeah.
The only event I could train for was a deadlift event. nothing else I could. We had a tire flip, a truck pull, a keg over a bar, a stone carry, and a deadlift.
Right.
And the only one I could actually do was a deadlift. So the truck pull wasn't really hard. At the last event, I did well in that. The tire flip wasn't too bad. The keg throw was kind of difficult, getting the technique down. But everything else is pretty much just, we were all kind of struggling technique-wise. It was a lot of fun. That was my first taste of it. And I kind of just started competing after that here and there.
Yeah. People don't realize this, but TV actually used to be I know Muscle Mags, everybody talks about Muscle Mags back in the day, and they talk about, how fitness is kind of, they started from reading the Muscle Mags all the way up. But what people don't realize is, like, ESPN, when they used to air these strongman competitions, they used to air the weightlifting, when they used to, the Olympics used to come on, that was a big deal because there were less TV channels, and you're an impressionable young guy, and you see these ultra, jacked, strong dudes on the screen, and you almost want to, like, be Superman,
Right.
And I think that's kind of...
When I was a kid, ABC Raw World Sports to play powerlifting.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was like 6, 7 years old, I remember my dad turning on TV, watching Wide World of Sports, and they had powerlifting on.
Yeah. Were you ever a wrestling guy? Like professional wrestling?
I never. I like it a lot, of course. My God,
yeah.
I mean, I think all of us did growing up.
Oh, yeah. Woo Nation here. Even though I'm not quite old enough for that, I still absolutely love the old cringily acted clips. They were amazing because these were jacked dudes in a play. Like, if you look at like Ric Flair, and you look at even Hulk Hogan, which is two of the most iconic names, they had this kind of playfulness about them in their characters, and Randy Macho Man Savage was also one of those. It was very polarizing. Towards the end there, he kind of got a little wacky, but he was also a favorite of mine. But so that's cool. You got into strongman. Now, did your strongman career lead anywhere?
Oh, not really. I mean, I was pretty much just for fun. I mean, honestly,
Right.
I was playing rugby while competing in strongman.
Right.
I never gave a shit about the gym as far as numbers go, just for the sake of numbers. I mean, even to this day, I don't really care about my numbers. I never really did. I preferred sports. Like, my whole thing was, like, different mindset in the field for me. Like, when I get in the field, it's like I want to kill you. Yeah. I look at that guy. I mean, while I was a rugby player, there was, like, absolute hate for our team. I had to generate a lot of hate inside of me for our team to want to play the game effectively. Lifting for me was a means to the end to, like, prepare for the sport. So even though when I was competing in strongman, I was having fun because it was like I would cheer the guy on that was actually beating me. Because it wasn't, I didn't give a shit. It was like, if you won, you won. If I won, I won. No big deal. But I would never cheer for your other team in rugby field. I'd be like, I'm going to fucking kill you. But obviously, different mindset between physical combat and actually lifting weights. So I never really expected strongman taking me anywhere. I never expected lifting taking me anywhere. Like, some of my best lifts I ever did were never in a competition. I mean, I never really competed that much in anything powerlifting because I just didn't care. It was more like going in the gym. Yeah, I seen guys in the gym. Like, there's a guy in Titan's gym in Ohio. His name's Concrete Mike.
Uh-oh.
He was 5'10", maybe 5'10".
Yeah.
Probably like 220. He was a concrete worker, a foreman. He made a great living. Great guy, a fucking powerhouse of a dude. I've seen him squat 405 for 20. I've seen him deadlift 700 pounds plus in the gym with fucking work boots on. This guy could have been probably a really good goddamn powerlifter.
Yeah.
But he never competed. He just liked to lift weights for fun. There's guys like that all across America who you don't see on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. They just lift for the fun of it.
Wait, so you're telling me there's strong guys without, like, these professional Reebok weightlifting shoes?
Well, yeah.
Wait a minute.
I mean, obviously, there's two schools of thought. People are like, well, you have to compete, to show how strong you are. I'm like, no, you don't. You're strong and strong. No. If you're fucking strong, you're fucking strong. You don't got to prove to anybody.
It's also kind of cool because we had somebody on the podcast, speaking of rugby, he actually does rugby now, but he used to actually hold the world record in the raw, untested 181 weight class. His name is Andrew Lorino. He
Okay.
actually decided to just completely drop powerlifting because he realized, whenever he got to that level, he decided that the, joint damage he was experiencing, the weight fluctuations, just the lifestyle in general wasn't conducive to his health, because he was in a wreck, like a really, really
Right.
bad car wreck, and he came back and did the powerlifting thing, held the total, the deadlift, the squat, and the bench record at the 181 in his federation. And he actually switched to rugby out of all things, which is, by the way, a rough and tough game if anyone's ever seen a rugby match. I mean, you got some real bruisers in rugby.
There's a lot of, I did the exact opposite. It was I could be a strongman while I was playing rugby. I never even stepped foot on a powerlifting platform until I stopped playing rugby, which probably didn't do me much good at all. Because I was so beat up from playing rugby. Like, I played Super League.
Yeah.
Super League was the highest you could play in America at that point, unless you're playing for the national team, which I wasn't going to get. I mean, it'd have been nice, but there's no way I would have gotten that. But so I never actually competed. I competed a couple push pulls, but here for fun here and there. Never tried to actually train for powerlifting until I left rugby, and I had to have something competitive in my head. I couldn't turn off, because you go from playing a sport at a high level, and it's hard to turn that off.
Yeah, and I actually I like the fact that you're like, if you look at your Instagram and you look at the things you've done, you're not just some guy that goes in there and lifts weight. You train like an athlete,
Right.
like an actually functional human being, not just, I'm going to grip the bar off the floor, which is something sometimes it's lost in translation when it comes to strong guys. Even bodybuilders like, the thing I'm going into, Ryan Skelly, which is another guy that's been on the podcast, we probably wouldn't last 10 seconds with you in the weight room doing certain movements, which is kind of cool, this whole training methodology switch to train different things. I did want to kind of talk to you about, you actually went through a little bit of a transformation for yourself,
Yes.
I was looking on your Instagram doing research, not admiring how jacked you are, but, of course I wouldn't do that. So I looked at your Instagram, and you actually lost a little bit of weight. Now, could you go over why you decided to do that, or why you decided to get healthier,
Well, I really had no choice. It was either do that or maybe dead. I mean,
really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even exaggerating. It was 3 years ago. I went through atrial fibrillation, which is called AFib for short.
Yeah.
So what happened? Well, I didn't really know that I had it. I mean, I went through strep. I went through flu back to back. So I had to compete in a powerlifting meet in November. This is the end of October, and so I came back, and I had to do the meet in like 3 weeks. I didn't pull out. It was a meet for charity, so
Fantastic.
I wanted to make sure I should. Yeah, so I wanted to make sure I can do it.
Yeah.
So I took a friend of mine said, I have some stuff that might help you out, recover kind of quick.
Yeah.
And it was some pretty potent shit that I probably should have taken.
Right. We can discuss that a little bit. I mean, don't get into too much gory details.
Well, I won't. But nevertheless, it definitely gave me a rush.
Right.
And the next day I woke up and I was all like, I felt weird.
Yeah.
But I couldn't put two and two together. So for a couple months I was kind of struggling. I flew to the meet. The meet was in Detroit. I flew to the meet. I competed. I had the worst meet of my life. I mean, I could barely even bench press. I had no energy. I did my opening deadlift attempt, and I just quit.
Wow.
And so I finally, after a couple months of suffering, went to the hospital, went to the ER. I told them my symptoms, and they rushed me back because it was a heart issue. So they basically, I was in ICU for 7 days. I had a congestive heart failure. I had an ejection fraction of 30%. Basically, that means that my whole body filled up with fluid.
Right.
And so I got the doctor was in. He's like, you're going to have some work ahead of you, because basically I had to. I was on 7 medications at one point, and it was a massive wake up call. I mean, I lost 60 pounds of water in like 6 days.
Wow.
yeah, I went through 2 cardio versions that didn't work. Went through an ablation that finally worked. And I decided, I mean, I lost so much goddamn strength from that. I mean, I couldn't even tell you. It was a disgusting amount of strength that I lost.
Right.
When you're sick like that, for a while recovering, you lose a lot. And
I did want to kind of ask, so when you lost that 60 pounds of water, right? You said 60 pounds of water.
Yeah, literally in 5 days.
Right. So when you lost that 60 pounds of water, I know people are going to concentrate on the aesthetics side of it, but can you walk us through a little bit how you started to kind of feel after that big water loss? I mean,
well, the first day was interesting because I went to my doctor. I was still trying to lift through all this shit too, mind you. So I was.
No one's stopping you, Jesus.
Well, I went to the doctor that day, and I parked about 25 feet from the front door. I couldn't even breathe walking to the door. So I'm like. So I finally get in there. I step on the scale. I weigh 291. I'm like, all right. So he gave me 100 milligram of torsemide, which is a pretty heavy diuretic and a pretty heavy dose.
Right.
So I drive home and I go to the gym. It was called 405 Barbell at the time, Oklahoma City. My training partner there waiting for me, Dan. So I don't know why I took a diuretic at nighttime. I took it. I popped a diuretic. I figured, I want to piss for a little bit. No big deal. So I'm working out. I'm having a hard time breathing. I'm still trying to push through it. And I go to the bathroom. I take a piss. I start walking out. I'm like, I got to piss again.
Yeah.
I take more piss. Now I start walking out. I got to go back in. Now I sit down in the fucking toilet. Now, within a 2.5 hour period, I'm still sitting in the toilet. I did not come out for 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Wow.
So I'm texting my training partner. I'm like, Dan, I'm really worried here. Get me some Gatorade.
That wasn't my guess. That wasn't my guess. I'd be like, bring me the kettlebells, and then
because I'm like you. I'm losing a lot of water.
Yeah.
So when I got up, I could breathe. It was like, holy shit, I can breathe. What happened was essentially all the water that was coming out of me was coming out from my chest all the way down to my ankles, like one big cylinder. I take a glass of water like this. Imagine my lungs up here. So you're basically drinking the water as coming down. That's what I do to my body. So it was coming out day by day. You could see your skin starting to come together, and the bloat go away, and it was insane. And after that 5th day, I stepped on the scale, I weighed 235.
Right. How were your energy levels after that, by the way?
Diuretic kind of sap your energy a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you're on one for a day. You kind of get wiped out. So I wasn't really. I took a leave of absence at work. I was at home for a couple months. I was pretty sapped. I mean, at that point, I couldn't really do much in the gym at all, and I was trying to, but I couldn't. My strength just hit the shitter, and I couldn't train that way anymore. I had to go to the hospital back and forth 3 times for cardio versions. If I had to get an angiogram, stuff like that.
Right.
So all that different stuff. I had to go for all those things. So I couldn't really train hard, and then I have to stop again for 2 weeks because there was some procedure.
Well, I wasn't talking about just training, because if people who don't know, diuretics do zap your strength, but also what he was going through is kind of something that affects whole body strength. I mean, some of the little stupid stuff that you take for granted every day, like getting up out of bed, especially if you lost that much water, getting up fast must have affected you pretty badly.
You're getting dizzy. You're getting dizzy for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you get minus it's also not potassium sparing diuretic. So I'm basically having to chew mineral tablets constantly because and I'm already going through a heart issue to begin with. So the last thing I need to have is more heart arrhythmia. So I'm basically chewing potassium pills, chugging water, and unfortunately, the more water you drink, the more you pissed out.
Right.
But my calves are cramping up from the loss of water. Yeah. I mean, our energy levels are drained. All I want to do is just sleep all day. So from 8 o'clock in the morning until 1, 2 in the afternoon, I'm nothing but just tired, laying around on the couch.
Right.
And even after that, when you kind of start feeling okay, you're just wiped out more water loss.
Yeah. I mean, I've been through a water cut before. I haven't really played around with diuretics, but I can tell you right now that being deprived of because you don't just lose water, you lose sodium, you lose potassium.
Yeah.
You know,
magnesium.
Yeah. So it's really important to replace those things if you ever lose those things. That's why they used to actually carry around noon tabs.
Yep.
In sports, there used to be a little mineral salt and all that jazz in those noon tabs, and they used to perk up athletes like crazy. And then Gatorade came in and said, "Hey, let's put sugar in there."
Yeah.
But it has its place.
Yeah,
I
I have a noon tab at the gym when I work out. I think I pop in a gallon. I pop 1 or 2 in a gallon of water. I just pretty much drink that during the day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're great for replacing sodium electrolytes and whatnot. Because Gatorade's obviously sugar water at this point.
Well, yeah.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it has its place, like you said, but for my place right now, I mean, noon tabs would work wonders for me.
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody should be, not afraid of salt to begin with if you're healthy.
Oh no.
But so let's get back to it. So you had these health problems. When did it start to get better, or is it better?
Oh, it's a lot. I'm fully recovered now.
Okay.
I mean, after about a year and a half, I guess, is when I had my last cardiologist appointment was here in Kansas City.
Right.
And then the guy said to me, he's like, "Look, you're doing great. I'm going to let you go. If you ever need me again, you know where I am." Yeah. So basically, I got a clean bill of health. I'm off blood thinners now, which is the big one because Eliquis and blood thinners can really fuck with you.
Yeah.
And so I was a big worry for me because if I ever got into a bad car accident with Eliquis, I'm kind of screwed. Or even if you hit your head too hard or something like that, you can really screw yourself up in a blood thinner. So I'm grateful to be off it now. This one, a blood pressure medication is pretty much it. So it's just basically a very methodical course of just changing lifestyle. And that's hard to do because you go from being a certain way to having to change and doing it by choice is one thing. Like not really choosing that is something different.
Yeah. So what I did want to ask, what caused all that? Do they know? Was it like fraying on a rubber band where something eventually just snapped? Or was it? Okay, yeah.
Probably a myriad of shit like lifestyle, weight. I was like 285 at the time.
Maybe partying a little too much in your 20s.
Oh, probably. A bit high
We've
stress.
all been there.
All the too much caffeine in my diet.
Yeah.
I mean, who the hell knows what the actual cause was? But
so let's go a little bit over the lifestyle changes that you've made. So what have you done that's kind of helped? And what would you suggest people do if they're looking to get just overall healthier? I mean,
first of all, drop excess fat is a big one. I mean, people are notoriously stupid about how much they actually weigh, how much fat they have, especially us guys. We have like, we're fucking jacked. I'm like, bro, you're 5'10" and wearing 38 pants. You're not that lean.
For those who already watch this thing, they already know. Because it seems like I can't not mention it in an episode, but it's something I'm proud of. I used to actually be 430 pounds. I used to have a size 46 waist, and I'm down to like a 30. So,
oh shit,
I understand what you mean. I was pre-diabetic at 16, yada, 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 and now everybody has failed the drinking game. But, it's just one of those things where, that excess weight, people don't realize how much of a difference it makes literally on everything you do until you don't have it anymore and you're like, oh, well, I can just tie my shoes easier. This is weird.
Yeah. I can actually see my dick when I piss. I mean, that's amazing. That's obviously a very tough thing to say, but it's like when you think about it though, how many
It's fine. Jamie's on here all the time, so
yeah, how many of these big ass dudes are in the gym walking around like 350, 360, 370 and
or having all kinds of titties on the beach.
I'm like, you're strong. Don't get me wrong. I'm like, but
yeah,
you can't jog 100 feet without dropping dead.
Right.
I'm like, even for people that are like 260, 270, I'm like, that seems you're looking like a decent weight. I'm like, all right, I was like 275, 280, and I could have easily have lost like 50 freaking pounds, And that's the whole thing. It's like people have to realize, like, look, not all that weight is needed. You don't have to be this big guy to be strong. You can be leaner and be strong. Now, a little extra ain't going to kill anybody. But a lot of us, I mean, I was very delusional about it. I mean, I can tell you that right now. I was delusional. And I thought I was pretty jacked. I remember being like 305 pounds and being like, I'm jacked. No, I was fat. I was a fat
Hey, It happens, man. Like, I don't, you're friends with Jamie Lewis, and he's the one that kind of got us on the same page with each other. Man, he has given me so much shit for being fluffy, at like 290 pounds. And I'm 6'5", by the way, but 290 pounds.
You're a tall dude.
Whatever. It's fine. But no, it's like I'm pretty lean now at like 258. So I actually lost 40 pounds or close to 40 pounds now.
6'5", 258. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid, man.
That's what I keep telling myself when I look in the mirror, and then I cry.
Well, it's tough. 6'5" is tall. It's so hard to get muscle. 6'5". I get to work twice as hard.
But it's not undoable. Like, we've talked about that on the podcast before. It's like you just have to change a little bit of something. You have to realize that your bicep may not grow as fast as somebody who's only has, when they gain 3 pounds on a 5'9" frame, or even on a 5'4" frame, Jamie, they're going to look a lot bigger, and we've beaten that dead horse.
Totally.
But yeah, what are some of the lifestyle changes? Because you have a pretty clean way of eating, if that's a term you'd use, but you have a pretty healthy diet. I've seen you cook some sweet potatoes over, by the way, wonderful grill work. Over the Super Bowl
that thing's amazing.
Weekend.
Amazing. So. That thing's amazing. Thanks. But I was surprised with my mom. She insisted upon buying it. I was like, well, man, you can buy something else, Mom. But she wanted to buy it for me, so she bought it.
Yeah.
It was
well, now
a nice present.
Thank her for 2 things.
I know, for real.
Yeah.
She's a good mom.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Shout out to all the moms out there, as if any moms watch this. And if she does watch this, welcome to the hatecast. We love you. So, what are some of the things you're doing to make yourself healthier? So, dropping weight, you said, is a big one, but are there any dietary changes that you're making?
Well, I pretty much have not eaten as many carbs as I used to.
Right.
Now, I know some people will sit there and say that, carbs aren't really evil, and I agree with that. Carbs aren't really bad in general.
Right.
However, too many carbs aren't that good either. So unless you're training for a specific type of sport or an activity like bodybuilding, where you're actually going to be putting on a lot of muscle, you don't need as many carbs as you think you do.
Yeah.
You don't. You just don't. So I modify them. I eat more healthier fats. I cook with like avocado oil. Try to eat, lower fat beef products. More vegetables. More variety of food. I keep it pretty simple, but it works for me. I mean, I eat the same thing every single day, pretty much, unless I'm on a weekend. Then I go a little nutty.
Probiotics and prebiotics, are you on that craze too?
Well, my wife
is.
Well, yeah. But my wife's she's a master's in dietetics.
Ooh.
So.
8 years.
She has 2. She's a master's in dietetics and also an MBA as well.
That's killer.
So her specialty is in microbiome and stuff like that.
Ooh.
So yeah, we got the whole probiotic thing pretty well because like her lab company does testing for the bacteria in your gut. So I mean, I can get that done probably tomorrow if I wanted to. I did it before. It's a pretty good test where it tells you what bacteria exists in your gut, which ones are deficient, which ones are fine, which ones could blah blah blah. Yeah. So basically, it can tailor a probiotic regimen for you based upon your gut bacteria.
Now, is that something you would recommend to people getting done? I mean, there are places that do it, I know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're finding more and more of a link between the gut health and everything else. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the brain and gut reaction, brain and gut synergy is very tight. I mean, so many things come from gut health. I mean, you are what you eat. I remember you probably heard that shit for years. You are what you eat, and there's a lot of truth to that. It really is.
And what I would suggest people do is, if they're not sure, because I know that my generation specifically, now I'm 28, but my generation and generations younger are so paralyzed to try new food. It's something like I've never seen before, right? And I'm a guy, like I was 430 pounds. I love food. So I would highly suggest that if you're unsure if you would like something like something healthy that you've never tried before, what's the worst that could happen? You spit it out. Stop being a baby.
Right.
You know, because for the longest time I was convinced I didn't like pineapples. I was delusional. I didn't like mangoes. I was delusional. And you know, my taste buds changed too. So,
Yes.
especially with losing that significant amount of weight. So gut biome. So let me guess, you've gotten quite a few tongue lashings from the wife about these health issues, haven't you? Just one, maybe?
Oh no! When I met her, I was going through them.
Oh,
You know,
okay. Cool.
but she never once preached to me about that. You know, she never like she never lectured me. It wouldn't work anyway because I have a very severe anti-authority bent anyway.
Yeah.
So which is why I work for myself. It's easier. But like if she would, I would tell her, like, look, if you see something I'm doing messed up, she never like recommended my food and whatnot. She never once said, you know, why don't you try this? Why don't you eat this? No, I just did it my own. You know, what came to like the whole gluten stuff and whatnot. She kind of figured I was gluten sensitive, like gluten intolerant for a while. And I would eat something with gluten and have like massive problems.
Right.
And she kind of figured it out before I did. But she never once said to me, why don't you get the test done? You know, I asked her, I'm like, I need to get that test done.
That's how you know she knows what she's talking about, too. You know, if she's not pushy about it, you know, like you don't go up to some gym bro and say, actually, you shouldn't be doing that. Like you let them do their thing, and if they want help, they'll come to you. You know, you probably train in your gym as well as have online clients and stuff like that. But I will say
plus
that...
Plus, it's kind of hard to, like, you don't want to come in that point where you're, like, preaching and nagging your partner.
Right.
Or what to do. You know what I mean? That kind of backfires a lot of times. And she knows that. I know that. Yeah. That's just the way the world works.
Yeah. So I would like to talk a little bit about this because I don't think it's talked about enough. So sometimes, so were you one of the people that was skinny before and then they gained weight? Or were you? Okay. Yeah.
I was skinny and gained weight.
So I come from the opposite end, but same things, you know, relevant to me. Sometimes when you're in this fitness world, you think that it's the most important thing to gain as much weight as possible, especially because all the muscle magazines that you read and all that stuff. But what people don't realize is sometimes gaining a significant amount of weight in a short time can wreak havoc on your digestive health as well. I mean, you see it all the time in the bodybuilding world. You have these competitors that are there for 1 year. They do a spectacular show, right? Colitis. They completely just shit the bed in their digestive health. And it's something that people don't take seriously enough. And I only asked about the digestive stuff because I see you eating sweet potatoes and you know, all the vegetables and some good healthy things on your Instagram. So let's go over into the business side. So you own Kansas City Barbell, right?
Yes.
Your baby, your home, the place where you literally buy the weights that you want because you probably train there, right?
Yep.
What do they do there? So what would drive somebody to Kansas City Barbell?
Well, it's pretty much we have a very niche. We're the only barbell club in downtown Kansas City.
All right.
And so we have a pretty good niche right now. We're doing pretty well.
Yeah.
So if you like strength training, you got, you know, it's pretty much what we are. I mean, we do it kind of like I hate to say it, we have a CrossFit model. It's like you don't pay for a gym, you pay to get coached.
Right.
But we have specific rules that we have. We keep class sizes small, you know, less than 10 people to maintain quality of coaching. Right. It's always strength work. We're squatting, we're benching, we're deadlifting, we're pressing. You know, we have a powerlifting group that I oversee most of that. My partner Sean, he's a very accomplished powerlifter actually. Right. He does a lot of weightlifting stuff right now. He does some powerlifting with me. Our schedules kind of get screwed up, so I do most of the powerlifting. You know, but the gym is basically we're a strength training gym first and foremost. You know, we're a barbell club. It's like if you want to do shit like cardio, we'll go somewhere else. I mean, you can. I'm not going to pay to watch you. Yeah, I'm not going to pay to watch you fucking run.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to take your money and say, "Oh, hey, run around the block." I don't do that shit. You know, we don't do kipping pull-ups. We don't do box jump. We do burpees. You know, it's a lot of lifting. It's building muscle, building strength. It's supporting each other. You know, we're playing metal music. You know, Sean plays country, which is, you know, that's okay. That's his deal.
Well, you're in the South. It's okay.
Technically Missouri is the South.
Yeah, Midwestern. But But no,
But
I find that awesome because, when people, get gyms sometimes, they see it as a cash cow, and you're seeing it as a athletic, a club of sorts where you have, the people that train and work out with you, kind of like a family-like environment. I absolutely love gyms like that. Plus,
what we're doing, I mean, most small gyms are like that. I would say, they want to create a community. And community is something that's very cliche in this business. You hear many gyms. It's just the nature. It's just what people do. Oh, we have a community, but it's true. I mean, our members are all friends with each other. We hang out together. We do stuff together. Like, we're going to a hockey game in a couple of weeks together. With a big KU Missouri rivalry hockey game. We hang out. It's just the way it goes. We support each other. We support each other at businesses and whatnot. We got photographers in our. We have insurance agents that come there.
Yeah.
We have IT guys, and we all kind of hang out. We got black, white, Asian, Hispanic, gay, transgender. We got all types in this gym.
Now, I did want to ask: do you allow recording in the gym? Like, if it's respectful?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to record a lift, I mean, I'm not like some asshole.
No, I meant record themselves or something like that.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they come work out with you guys.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I don't give a shit. Hey, it's promoting the gym too. But I hate some of these assholes, especially my generation, that say, oh, you damn kid recording the lifts. I'm like, who's the fuck? We're having fun. Let them record their shit.
Yeah. When my dad was growing up, Led Zeppelin was the devil. And then, before that, it was, I don't know if people know this, but the sock hop used to be actually a bad place to go to because people would do promiscuous things there, right?
Yeah.
And nowadays, it seems like the older generation thinks that the new devil is social media. And I just don't see it that way. I see it as a new tool that we're not sure how to use yet. So we just post things, and sometimes they hit big, and sometimes people who don't deserve to be famous. I'm sorry, Squad Girls on Instagram. Look, we love you. We love looking at you. But that's not the workout you do. Calm down.
Right.
Brazilian butt lifts, by the way, look amazing. So, but it's just another tool in the toolbox called life. And people need to stop taking it so seriously. I think that some of the stuff you're doing is awesome. Like you just hit a PR. You're doing those trap bar deadlifts, right? And you were doing you're having to buy non-bumper plates now, which is awesome. By the way, congrats, man. But it's just another medium, right? It's just another thing. It's not the devil. It's not Led Zeppelin. It's not the sock hop. Don't worry about it. And that's the way I explain it to people. It's just like video games. They're interactive media. They're not the devil. Grand Theft Auto has 0 deaths have been caused by Grand Theft Auto, realistically. But
that's true.
No, I just wanted to kind of get your opinion on that because it's kind of cool, having a gym where you can go to and record because that seems to be a draw for people now. See, I'm doing some promotion for you now. See?
Yeah.
But
I mean, you see that in most gyms. I mean, you'll see that. I mean, it's sometimes kind of funny. A lot of people record certain stuff. Like, I do laugh at it sometimes because I'll go to a commercial gym once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
To work out, and you'll see someone with a camera like walking around people like this while recording, like in circles, and I'm looking at them fucking laughing. I'm like, dude, just hold the camera. The guys with a bicep curl. Like, no one's really gonna watch that on Instagram. I'm like, no one's really gonna see that. But like, if you're watching somebody squat 800 pounds, they're gonna watch that.
Yeah. While we're on the topic of Instagram, I wanted to get your opinion. So somebody who trains and preaches athleticism, right? I want to get your opinion on this. What do you think about fake weights?
Fake what?
Fake weights.
They've been around since the early Strongman era.
I know.
I mean,
but I
honestly,
just like hearing opinions.
Things, I hate them, but I mean, they're never going to go away. I just can't stand them. I mean, you got people who use them who are legitimately strong people.
Yeah. I
mean, like Brad Castleberry, he's a well-built, good-looking, strong man.
Of course, yes, he is. He has a fantastic physique. Yeah.
His marketability is off the charts. I mean, you look at him, and he could be like a douchebag rock, because he basically is a douchebag rock. Obviously but without much talent. I'm saying, you know what I mean? He's obviously a lot less talented. Obviously.
Man,
but
he could be casted as the douchebag in any film.
Every
film, and it would reign true.
Yes, he'd be like Johnny from every 80s movie, and he'd be Johnny.
There you go.
Movie. So, but he uses fake weight, and it doesn't really make any sense why, because
sometimes
he does, yes. I mean, but it's hard to tell. I don't really follow him. I got a couple friends of mine who will send me shit once in a while, and I look at it like, is that real? What the fuck is he doing? But I mean, I don't get it. I mean, why? Because people are going to call you out. They're not going to believe you. You're going to cause drama. But, you know, then the flip side is this. The drama's getting him attention.
Yeah. Hey, views get views.
Yeah, views are views.
Yeah.
And that's revenue, essentially. That's more exposure. You know, look at Bradley Martin. Martin. You know, Bradley Martin made a career on Instagram about being a douchebag. And now he owns one of the best gyms out in Los Angeles.
Hell yeah.
You know, he bought a gym. A couple of friends of mine train there, and it's like a great gym. I mean, Bradley's a strong guy. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But he made a career on YouTube. Made a career about, you know, being kind of that tool bag on Instagram. And look where it got him. Got him a gym.
Yeah, but it's all theatrics. You know,
it's all basically all playing a role.
Yeah. Even with the original intention of fake weights, which by the way was for photo shoots, what people don't realize is people, you know, used to, in the old bodybuilding days, Mouse Magazine days, all that jazz, even some non-fitness, I'm talking like novella, like, you know, type of covers, you know, like Alberto Nunez, which by the way is a very famous, prominent figure. He's on novellas. He's on the novels. Like, he's the chest, you know, of the very ripped guy that everybody fantasizes about when they open the cover and read those words, right?
Right.
I'm not saying he does, but I'm saying that, you know, fake weights have their place, and it's kind of refreshing to hear you say, you know, I don't care, just do you, boo.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the way I look at it, it's like, you know, I don't have to like something. I don't really give a shit. It doesn't affect me directly.
Yeah.
You know, they're not. Maybe 5 years ago, I probably have a different opinion.
Yeah.
I was a lot angrier back then, and I was a lot more volatile of a person.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, I don't really have that going for me anymore like I used to. So I just don't really care.
Yeah.
When I look at it, it's like, you know what? Unless you're affecting me directly and you're hurting me directly, I don't give a shit what you do. I mean, it may look silly, but hey, who cares? Have fun.
Yeah. I have two things to bring up, and then we'll do a closing out, which, by the way, we will list his Instagram, Kansas City Barbell website, whatever else he wants me to link in the description box below. But you'll only get that if you subscribe. Haha, there's the bait and switch. So, but I did want to ask your opinion on this because I saw both you and Jamie in the comments section of Greg Knuckles.
Oh, shit.
Hold on.
I fucking knew it. I knew it was going to happen.
Hold on. Because I have my own opinions on this, okay? So, explain a little bit of what that was about. Because
they were basically saying that Greg, and I love Greg. Greg's an incredibly smart man.
Oh yeah.
You know, he's a wonderful human being too. Even we've hung out a couple times in person at Kansas City Fitness Summit.
Yeah.
He's a wonderful person. I mean, he's better in person than online by far, just because you get to hang out with him.
And he has awesome articles too.
So. Yeah, and he's oh my god, he's and his wife is amazing. I mean, nothing about him is bad whatsoever. And but he basically talked about how he hates when people that have great genetics say, "Oh, my hard work got me here."
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he thinks it's kind of like lying about how much your genes give you that advantage.
Yeah. And
me and Jamie had a path. It's like, look, there's no doubt in our mind that people exist in this world that are genetic freaks. Like that one guy who's Michael Phelps. Okay, Michael Phelps is a genetic freak. He is built to swim like a goddamn maniac.
Big ass hands, low connecting lats, big ass feet.
Yes.
He's a anomaly. I'm glad you brought him up because I was going to.
Yeah, he's a fucking dolphin.
Yeah.
He's basically a human dolphin.
Yeah.
Maybe even worse. Maybe even better.
When he's about to climax, they request to be called Flipper. Is what happens. Yeah.
Pretty
He's
much
like a fucking dolphin man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's an amazing specimen of an athlete for a particular sport.
Right.
And there's people like him. But there's also people like Jerry Rice, who was a low, middle round draft pick, who had to train and work his dick off to become the NFL best receiver of all time.
Right.
Plus people like Walter Payton, whose off-season workouts would kill the average man.
Michael Jordan's been through some rough
Michael
times.
Jordan. People would say, "Oh, Michael Jordan, genetic freak." I'm like, was he or wasn't he? I'm like, he was a great basketball player, but how do you know that? And how do you quantify? So is your quantification of a genetic freak anybody who plays in a pro league genetic freak? No, that's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah. Because I play Super League rugby. That's basically playing division, like that's almost like pro. Essentially, right. It's basically pro level rugby. So I played with guys who weren't genetic freaks, and I played with guys who were pretty goddamn good genetically.
Yeah,
it's just the way it goes. And same thing with any sport I've ever played. I played with guys you can tell, oh, this guy can be a great athlete. And you see guys like Mike Piazza.
Yeah,
he was like a 50-some fucking round draft pick. I forget, some low ass pick.
Yeah.
And he's a Hall of Famer now, or something like that, or gonna be. I forget if he's a Hall of Famer or not. I have no idea. I totally didn't follow that shit.
That's okay.
But nevertheless, I mean, professional sports leagues of all sports are riddled with guys who are both genetically gifted and not genetically gifted, overcame by hard work. So even if you have the gift genetically, you still have to work hard to make it. You can't just coast in. Right. You can coast by if you're a high school player or a college player, but once you get for that pro league, coasting by is done.
Right.
Like if you don't work, you're gonna lose it. That's just the way it goes. You got so many guys out there who are pretty gifted and who work harder. They're gonna run your ass over.
And the other partner in Chaos and Pain and I spoke. His name is Wayne Banks. We actually spoke about this today on the phone, and we had both said that we actually knew people. We actually knew people that were in school with us that were these genetic freaks, right? And they ended up like not coming to games, and if it were anybody else, the coach would basically say, okay, stay home, you're not coming. But these guys were just so genetically gifted in high school that the coach is like, hey buddy, are you gonna come to the game? And they would say, nah, I just don't want to do it anymore. Like there are those people that just get lazy and they have all the genetic gifts in the world, but they just don't do anything with it. And I hate it because, I come from the opposite. It also pisses me off, too, because I come from the opposite end of the spectrum. I used to be 430 pounds. No way in hell should I be stepping on a bodybuilding stage or lifting weights or, for fuck's sake, I shouldn't be walking up stairs, And you, on the other hand, you were skinny and you built yourself up. Sometimes people discredit hard work, and that irks me to no end, right?
It does.
And Jamie's the same way.
There's a lot of guys. There's obviously bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I know Greg's line of vision is very into the strength sports and bodybuilding because his entire research is around that. So he's probably thinking bodybuilding and powerlifting, and to that extent, there's very few people out there who can really work very hard to overcome genetics, but especially in bodybuilding. Genetics really matters a lot because obviously, you have to have your muscle bellies like metabolize a certain way, your tolerance for hormones, everything like that. How to react to your body, how you respond from them, your recoverability. That's a one domain thing of building muscle. I don't really call bodybuilding a fucking sport anyway. It's a fucking activity.
Beauty pageant.
It's a goddamn activity. It's like we do something for fun.
It's pageant.
That's all it is. Respect. I'm sorry, bodybuilders. That's how it is. You guys look great. You're cool, but
we're accepting of it now. It's okay. We understand that literally nothing athletic comes from the couple of seconds that you're up there in posing trunks, shaven from head to toe, with this fake and baked tan on, right, with baby oil all over you. We don't have to perform. We just have to look pretty. It's a beauty pageant.
Right. Exactly.
It takes a lot of hard work. Like it's not like, I know people that have, not paid rent in order to, pursue bodybuilding. Hope not to be that guy, but it is a lot of hard work, but it's not a sport.
hard
that
work.
may have just tanked my pro card eventually one day, but here we are, the internet. But yeah, it's only when, and I think you'll agree with this, the spectacular effect that happens when you have both hard work and genetics, which makes a particularly dangerous person in anything.
Yeah, I mean that was actually, it was funny because that's something that Phil Heath said in what's that operate with that generation pumping iron, the sequel.
A generation
How it
iron,
was.
yeah.
Generation, yes, thank you. And he was like, obviously genetically gifted, but hey, like, hard work wins when something. I think it was the actual quote he said, but Phil Heath knew he had genetics,
Right.
and he also trained pretty fucking hard. So he was cocky enough to think that Kai Green would ever beat him because he had both, and Kai really only has the hard work.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have somebody who's genetically gifted that worked really hard. You're going to be hard to stop in any sport. Period. We have like a Michael Phelps. You have someone like him. In football, I mean, look at fucking Tom Brady, for example. In football, look at his college picture.
Yeah.
He was a tall, skinny, goddamn dork.
Yeah.
And now it's like he's the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah. And my alma mater, UT, Colt McCoy, like he had everything lined up for him, and then like complete lemon. I'm sorry to say that, Colt McCoy fans, but he has gotten worse from his college days. And that's not me like blowing smoke up his ass or anything, or trying to downplay him or anything. He's just gotten worse, and like I'm sad to see it. Like, and I thought Michael Vick was also spectacular, but then the dog fighting, and
that kind of ruins the guy for a while. Yeah. Real bad move there, Mike.
But yeah, I just wanted your opinion on that because you're obviously someone who puts in hard work, and so is Jamie. I know Jamie has genetic traits that make him spectacular for powerlifting, but he also, by the way, chasing the dream, tore a bicep and tricep. So even on the bodybuilding side, there's been people like Dave Palumbo, which by the way has made a spectacular other career for himself.
Yes.
But he had to work particularly hard, and it cost him both of his shoulders, and he had a quad tear.
Yes.
So, but one thing I will say about this whole fitness world and strength world and even athleticism world is, even if you don't have genetics, it's kind of comforting to know that there's hope for everybody, because you see the genetic freaks standing up there right alongside the guys who put hard work first.
Yeah.
And that's important. That's a breath of fresh air in anything,
Exactly. I mean, not everybody's going to win the top prize. That's not going to happen. And sometimes it's not even all about that. It's about doing the best for yourself. And if you want to be on stage, well, then train like an animal and get on stage. If you want to, compete in powerlifting and be the best, try to win, well, train like that and try to win. That's just the way it's going to be. I mean, the capability of that for everybody is there. It's just how do you choose to do it? You can have fun with it and treat it like a hobby, or you can just go all out and treat it like a sport. That's obviously two different mindsets, so you have to decide which one you want to do.
Yeah. And, I will say this, and this may be controversial too. If bodybuilding or powerlifting or strongman, and I know people have I don't think anyone's gone over this before, but if it's a hobby for you, that's okay too. You don't have to gear up to compete. You don't have to, do all these things to make yourself, shoot for some golden trophy that's going to sit there on your shelf and probably collect dust, like my printer. So
you can just pretty much you can train for fun in the gym. You can go in the gym and just train hard and be strong as shit. You can still be saying, I train like this and I'm strong. I'm cool with that.
Do you think there's a lot of pressure to compete nowadays?
I think there is for a lot of people. If they get sucked into the social media aspect of it, they're definitely that pressure. Because the people that have the most following, so to speak, they're the ones who compete. Right. They're the ones who look a certain way. And I don't think it's necessarily in your face pressure, but it's definitely a lot of subdued pressure. Like, powerlifting has gotten so mainstream now.
Right.
I mean, it's gotten in your face. So I think the participation of it is increasing a lot, which is great. But the same token, I think a lot of people probably may jump into it too soon.
Right.
And I'm not saying that their strength levels are too weak. I'm saying maybe their technique isn't dialed in.
Right. 1 to 3 years thinking you're going to go in there compete, and then
where we see kids going to meets, and I see it all the goddamn time when I coach people, and I have to laugh because there's a guy at my gym. He's 50 years old, and he competed in his first powerlifting meet a couple months ago. Yeah, and he did pretty well. And he asked 1,000 questions, man. He drives me nuts. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's like, why aren't we going super heavy in the gym? What are we doing? I'm like, what's this all about? I want to go heavier. I'm like, dude, trust me. Wait. Yeah. So we get for the meet, and he smokes his opener. I mean, it was like he just smoked it. The second, they made 9 for 9. The other guy went 9 for 9.
Wow.
They actually hit bigger lifts in the gym. I'm sorry, bigger lifts than meet when they got in the gym because of the way we train.
Yeah,
the way we train. So after he's watching everybody else do the first attempt in warm-ups, and he looks at me and he goes, "Jay, I'm never going to question you again."
That's what you want to hear as a coach.
Yeah, I was laughing. I'm like, why is that? He goes, "Dude, these people are taking really heavy openers." Yeah. You got people who are like struggling, and that's what I'm talking about. Like maybe they're competing too soon, or maybe they're going to go out and hire a coach and say, "You know what? I'm going to spend a couple $100 and hire a guy who could teach me a few things, and then I can do it my own after I learn a few things." Yeah. Because you're not always going to learn. I don't give a fuck how many ebooks you read. You can never replace actually hiring somebody to actually help you. Yeah. And to say, hey, we're going to do, because you can read an ebook and you can have the program right in front of your face, but that ain't going to tell you, and ain't going to make you do shit you should do, or tell you not to do shit you shouldn't do.
An ebook's not going to take an objective look at you and say, look, you're a little too fat, you need to lose weight, or look, you need to improve here, or look, you need to do this. That's what coaches are here for, and I'm sorry those people who want the robot revolution to take over strength sport coaching. It will never happen because they don't have the touch, and that's something you need in a coach.
Yep, there's always people out there putting out fucking templates and
cookie cutter programs.
I hate that so much. For people out there, like, you can go to my website and buy a template for $99 for a powerlifting template. Use it over. I'm like, dude, no. They're basically taking your money, and it's basically a money run. Yeah. Because it's a chart. I mean, you can get that same shit from an ebook for half the price, maybe less than half the price. Number one. Number two, for $99, you can hire a coach for a couple of weeks. I'm like, so basically you're saying, I'm getting a pretty good deal about getting a custom program, which you're really not getting a custom program. You're getting a cookie cutter version of a program that's designed for people like you. And you're not really getting, it's just basically a money grab. So there's a lot to be said for actually hiring a coach. You really get a lot out of it as long as you're willing to do the work put into it what a coach says you're going to do. Like, I only ever hired 2 coaches in my entire life. And they were for very specific reasons when I hired them. I hired Mike Teixeira in 2004. Okay. In 2004, I hired him. And I hired him because Mike, in my opinion, is the best powerlifting coach out there.
He's been around for a while,
Yeah, and he's incredible. And back then, he was kind of revolutionizing the way he was approaching the training part of it with the RPE method. Right. And it was it was relatively newish. So I wanted to learn about it. So the only way I could learn about it was to hire him.
Getting it straight from the source. I mean, it's better than reading an ebook.
And then I hired Brian Cron a couple of years ago when I came back from my bullshit with my heart. I need to train differently to get myself back into gear. So I hired a guy who deal with stuff like that. I said I need to train like a bodybuilder for a while, so I'm going to hire Brian. Yeah. Especially one who understands, like, I'm 40 plus years old. One who would actually know how to deal with a guy who's 40 plus years old. Yeah. Not someone who's your age who can handle a lot more than that. Because you can handle a lot more in the gym than I can, volume-wise.
I doubt that. We'll see.
You probably, because your age, you're younger.
You're an athlete, sir.
I'm an ex-athlete.
But, no, there's one quick last question that I want to go over. There was a lot, probably way too much to talk about in this episode. But you know, I did want to ask this because people always have interesting stories, and I actually love tattoos and love piercings and all that jazz. Do you recall the first tattoo or piercing you ever got, and how did that come about? Let's see the thought processes.
The first one I got, I was like fucking 17 years old, and I just wanted a tattoo, so I basically went to some piece of shit tattoo artist. I got a piece of flash art done.
Oh,
and,
really?
Yeah, I still have it. It's up here. It looks like shit. I gotta get it covered up. In fact,
let's see it. Come on, let's immortalize it. There we go.
It's a snake with barbed wire coming out of his ass. It's stupid. But I'm getting a big piece on this arm, like a big sleeve.
Yeah.
Eventually, so I'm gonna get that whole thing covered up. That's my first one I ever got, and you know, I've had piercing before. I had my lips pierced, but I had taken out, and now I got the septum done.
Yeah.
But the first tattoo was pretty much, it meant nothing. It was just getting it done.
Yeah. Which ones do mean something to you?
They all mean something to me. I mean, I have, you know, love and hate, my fingers.
Right.
You know, I have my wedding date tattooed right here.
That's awesome.
I got the Relentless here, which is the name of the charity I used to lift for.
There you go.
You know, I got on my head, I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, yeah.
KC Barbell.
Kansas City Barbell. There you go.
Yep.
That's what's up.
So I have stuff like that done. I mean, I have, I'm getting more. I have a couple of Viking things on me. I have Norwegian, Scandinavian heritage.
Yeah.
So I have a Valk nut back here. You know, I have some runes across my chest.
I'm supposed to have Icelandic somewhere in my family tree, so like Icelandic and French Canadian. So something. It's like Frankenstein's monster.
I'm actually Lithuanian, German, Norwegian, and a little bit of British Irish.
Yeah.
I have a European mutt.
Oh, hey, half of America. But yeah. What about the piercings? Like, what was your first one, and how did that go? And like, which ones hurt the worst?
The ears were actually the first, obviously, and I just gauged them out later.
Right.
The ear probably hurt the worst when I gauged them, because I actually gauged them too fast. And I had some impatient. I was just like, oh, fuck it. It started gushing blood. It was not a good idea. I had the snake bites in my lip for one day.
Yeah.
That was I got done the day after the rugby season was over. Yeah. All right. So the guys are like, we have a big tournament to go to, and you got to play. I'm like, dude, I got my fucking shit. I'm not playing. I'm done for the season. I'm done. I'm like, no, we need you to play. So I had to go out of the fucking game and play. And you can't play a medal in your face, obviously.
Yeah.
So the guy, he brought his army medic kit down with forceps, pulling them out of my mouth for the game.
Yeah.
Because they were in so tight, they were coming out. They were screwed in so tight.
Wow.
So that closed up like instantly. That was it. The septum I got done, that didn't hurt at all.
Yeah.
No,
you know, I want to get a tattoo. I just haven't decided which one I'm getting. I will say that usually people who say that are pussies, and they don't end up getting one. But my dad always warned me about nipple piercings because he used to be a boxer in the Navy. And yank, punch, like, it's done. It's over. Those hurt.
That's a very sensitive area to get.
Yeah. So I think that's going to be it for us today, man. I appreciate you joining us. As always,
Thank
guys, www.kansaspain.com or his Barbell website. Like, if Kansas City Barbell, if you want a gym and you're in the Kansas City area, go to his. Don't go to anything else. Do not support other gym owners. Support this man right here. Also, subscribe. Go ahead and like us if you like us. If you dislike us, stop. And all the other things that I'm supposed to say at the end of this episode. Not much more to say. Kind of out of things to say. Don't worry about... Actually, no. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be very rude. Hold on just 1 second while I do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it on camera. Just got done recording the episode with Jay Ashman, so look forward to that soon. Thanks for supporting the hatecast, and as always, I don't have a sign out, not sure where this is going. That's how we do around here. Professional. See you guys in the next one.
Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. That is good. That is good.
Too many thoughts on my mind, I can't sleep at night, so I just keep writing. I don't need no help, I don't need opinions, so don't waste my time then. I just been living online, my city don't show me no love and that's fine. Fuck local radio stations, I got more plays than all of these rappers combined. I'm going again, I've been going in, I'm fed up with so many things. I gotta just let it all out, I'm talking about the shit they've been talking about. Telling me I should do this, telling me I should do that. Telling me things about rap. Talking the truth and that stab in my back, that will knock me off track. No, too many things have been building, been hard to deal with, I just been drinking. Remember my moves in the past, I'm wondering what was I thinking. Lately I'm living in fear, wondering what if the end is so near. All of this shit going on, the shootings are strong. One shot to the head and I'm gone. I'm losing control but I can't let it go, cause I'm trying to get more. And I've been in the moment, I've been in the zone, and I'm moving alone. I don't pick up the phone when my family call, I've been doing it wrong and I don't know what's happening. Trying to get what I just been imagining, getting close and I just been examining all of the fake shit the game has been packaging.
Power pleases you, Crom. So grant me one request. Grant me revenge. And if you do not listen, then the hell with you.
I come from a town where most of the people are so close-minded. They go into school and they work in a job but they don't even like it. I won't be put in a box, nobody telling me what I should rock. Nobody telling me what I should drop, cause I do what I want and just know I don't stop. Recording till 4 in the morning, they snoring, I'm pouring my soul into every story. I'm writing, producing, I mix it, I master, I'm building my craft and I'm not looking back. I've been going doing things I wanna do when I want to. Everybody wanna get a win but they not do. Everybody wanna copy you but they not you. Everybody wanna be cool but they not new. Whoa, look how I go, gonna be a dentist, I still got the flow. Never gonna lose cause I'm still doing both. Never gonna lose cause I've been on the road. Come to your state and I'm killing the show. Know that I'm young and I still gotta grow. Know that I'm working the most, know I'm never gonna choke. And I'm looking back down on the people below. I've been keeping real.